Good afternoon. Last night, I spoke with Donald Trump. I'm sincerely grateful that he's doing well and recovering, and we had a short but good conversation. Jill and I are keeping him and his family in our prayers. We also extend our deepest condolences to the family of the victim who was killed. He was a father. He was protecting his family from the bullets that were being fired, and he lost his life. God love him. We're also praying for the full recovery of those who were injured, and we're grateful to the Secret Service agents and other law enforcement agencies and individuals who risked their lives literally for our nation. As I said last night, there is no place in America for this kind of violence, or any violence for that matter. An assassination attempt is contrary to everything we stand for as a nation. Everything. It's not who we are as a nation. It's not America. And we cannot allow this to happen. Unity is the most elusive goal of all. But nothing is important than that right now. Unity. We'll debate and we'll disagree. That's not going to change. But we're going to not lose sight of the fact who we are as Americans. Look, Vice President Harris and I were just briefed in the Situation Room by my Homeland Security team, including the Director of the FBI, the Secretary of Homeland Security, the Attorney General, the Director of the Secret Service, my Homeland Security Advisor, the National Security Advisor.
This isn't the live part yet. That's coming up. This is from earlier this morning.
We're going to continue to be briefed. The FBI is leading this investigation, which is still in its early stages. We don't yet have any information about the motive of the shooter. We know who he is. I urge everyone, please, don't make assumptions about his motives or his affiliations.
All right.
Let the FBI do their job and their partner agencies do their job. I'm instructed that this investigation be thorough and swift, and the investigators will have every resource they need to get this done. Look, as this investigation continues, here's what we're going to do. First, Mr. Trump, as a former president and nominee of the Republican Party, already receives a heightened level of security.
All right, so there's a former Secret Service agent who still has a lot of connections and knew some of the Secret Service agents on that stage yesterday, who said that there have been numerous requests from the Trump campaign trying to get him increased Secret Service protection, and none haven't been answered. So that's a lie right there, Biden.
I've been consistent in my direction to the Secret Service to provide him with every resource, capability, and protective measure necessary to ensure his continued safety. Second, I've directed the head of the Secret Service to review all security measures for the Republican National Convention, which is scheduled to start tomorrow. And third, I've directed an independent review of the national security at yesterday's rally to assess exactly what happened. And we'll share the results of that independent review with the American people as well. And finally, I'll be speaking more about this tonight at greater length from the Oval Office. We must unite as one nation. We must unite as one nation to demonstrate who we are. And so may God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, when you spoke to President Trump yesterday, what did you tell him and what did he tell you, sir?
Mr. President, shifting our campaign strategy, Mr. President, do you regret?
So this is one of the things. Look at Merrick Garland's face. Does that look like the face of a guy who is about to have a job much longer? Thank you. Sad, sad face. Look at the look on Miss Harris's face, like, fuck. They didn't do their job. So that was that. It was very, very brief comments from the President of the United States, which, well, damn. Now we're just waiting on Joe Biden to, I guess, get his B12 injection, snort some coke, whatever he needs to do to get ready for this address of the nation. Yeah, I know I said I was gonna stop doing videos on this, but I did see this was coming up today, and I changed my mind just for this. And if I do any more stuff on this, probably it won't be on YouTube. FYI. Hello, Nunya. You are. If you look at the screen, you are the first on the list. But if you look at the chat, you're not. Unfortunately. How everyone doing? All 5 of us. Sunday. Most of you should have gone to church right now. Drinking is now authorized since it is almost 7 o'clock on Central Time. And, smoke 'em if you got 'em. I'm just waiting for Joe to wake up before I start smoking again, in case I need to pay attention. But I have a feeling it's gonna be more of what he said last night, more of what he said this morning. And I would really like to know, Joe, how do you plan on bringing unity to this country? I really want to know. Huh? What? Okay. Hello, Dominique. Oh, I like how a notification actually went out this time. Good, good. Maybe I did do 24 hours, 3 and 24 hours. I mean, I'd hit the like, but I can't hit the like anymore. It doesn't work for me. What's up, Short Bus? Happy meth day? Right? It's meth day for you, right? In case you haven't done it yet today, drink water. Come on, Joe. All right. So how do you think, how do I say this? Do you think he's going to try to make this into a political issue, even though he said, out of respect for Donald Trump, he would pause any campaign or donations coming into his campaign today? Which is okay, Joe, because, $90 million were frozen from your campaign the other day until you decided to drop out. Yeah, I'm good. Come on, Fox. Do I need to go to a different channel? I feel like I need to go to a different channel. News Nation? Nope. No. Oh, shit. I did forget something, guys. Give me a second. I gotta remember the dude's name. Here we go. Of course. Of course. So, here's my question. Do you think he will mention the name Corey Compatori? Guys, I think he's gonna mention that name? I mean, he didn't this morning, even though we knew who he was. Why is Chicago having a story on Trump and the assassination? Come on, man. I've been waiting for this since it came out. I want to know where Benny Johnson supposedly gets all his information from. AP. AP's got to have it. Wait. Still hasn't started. Motherfucker. Is all kinds of videos. Why are they? Well, guys, this hopefully it doesn't turn into another waiting an hour and a half for this cocksucker to finally come out and give us a briefing. I mean, he came out and gave us briefing last night, an hour and a half after I actually kind of hoping he would. What up, James? What up, Dub? I feel like I just talked to some of you guys. They know a little bit of insider info on what I'm going to put on Rumble this week. Oh, yeah, and I did say RNC coverage starts tomorrow.
Most importantly, we're fellow Americans. We must stand together. Yesterday's shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania calls on all of us to take a step back, take stock of where we are, how we go forward from here. Thankfully, former Trump is not seriously injured. I spoke to him last night. I'm grateful. He's doing well, and Jill and I keep him and his family in our prayers. We also extend our deepest condolences to the family of the victims who was killed. Corey was a husband, a father, a volunteer firefighter,
all right,
sheltering his family from those bullets. We should all hold his family and all those injured in our prayers. Earlier today, I spoke about an ongoing investigation. We do not know the motive of the shooter yet. We don't know his opinions or affiliations. We don't know whether he had help or support or if he communicated with anyone else. Law enforcement professionals, as I speak, are investigating those questions. Tonight, I want to speak to what we do know. A former president was shot, an American citizen killed, while simply exercising his freedom to support the candidate of his choosing. We cannot, we must not go down this road in America. We've traveled before throughout our history. Violence has never been the answer. Whether it's with members of Congress of both parties being targeted and shot, or a violent mob attacking the Capitol on January 6th, or a brutal attack on the spouse of former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, or information and intimidation on election officials, or the kidnapping plot against the sitting governor, or an attempted assassination on Donald Trump. There is no place in America for this kind of violence, or for any violence ever. Period. No exceptions. We can't allow this violence to be normalized. You know, the political record in this country has gotten very heated. It's time to cool it down. We all have a responsibility to do that. Yes, we have deeply felt strong disagreements. The stakes in this election are enormously high. I've said it many times that the choice in this election we make in this election is going to shape the future of America and the world for decades to come. I believe that with all my soul. I know that millions of my fellow Americans believe it as well. And some have a different view as to the direction our country should take. Disagreement is inevitable in American democracy. It's part of human nature. But politics must never be a literal battlefield, and God forbid, a killing field. I believe politics ought to be an arena for peaceful debate, to pursue justice, to make decisions guided by the Declaration of Independence and our Constitution. We stand for an America, not of extremism and fury, but of decency and grace. All of us now face a time of testing as the election approaches. And the higher the stakes, the more fervent the passions become. This places an added burden on each of us to ensure that no matter how strong our convictions, we must never descend into violence.
You can see the cue card or whatever in the background.
Will start tomorrow. I have no doubt they'll criticize my record and offer their own vision for this country. I'll be traveling this week making the case for our record and the vision, my vision of the country, our vision. I'll continue to speak out strongly for our democracy, stand up for our Constitution and the rule of law, to call for action at the ballot box, no violence on our streets. That's how democracy should work. We debate and disagree. We compare and contrast the character of the candidates, the records, the issues, the agenda, the vision for America. But in America, we resolve our differences at the battle box. You know, that's how we do it, at the battle box, not with bullets. The power to change America should always rest in the hands of the people, not in the hands of would-be assassin. You know, the path forward through competing visions of the campaign should always be resolved peacefully, not through acts of violence. You know, we're blessed to live in the greatest country on earth, and I believe that with every soul, every power of my being. So tonight, I'm asking every American to recommit, to make America, think
again?
about it. What's made America so special? Here in America, everyone must be treated with dignity and respect, and hate must have no safe harbor. Here in America, we need to get out of our silos, where we only listen to those with whom we
Laura.
agree, where misinformation is rampant, where foreign actors fan the flames of our division to shape the outcomes consistent with their interests, not ours. Let's remember, here in America, while unity is the most elusive of all goals right now, nothing is more important for us now than standing together. We can do this. You know, from the beginning, our founders understood the power of passion. So they created a democracy that gave reason and balance a chance to prevail over brute force. That's the American we must be. An American democracy where arguments are made in good faith. An American democracy where the rule of law is respected. An American democracy where decency, dignity, fair play aren't just quaint notions, but living, breathing realities. We owe that to those who come before us, to those who gave their lives for this country. We owe that to ourselves. We owe it to our children and our grandchildren. Look, let's never lose sight of who we are. Let's remember we are the United States of America. There is nothing beyond our capacity when we do it together. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.
Oh. Okay. Right. That was very short. I mean, he had a nice message at the beginning. It seemed like he just fell apart. You know, I really feel like that was just a fucking waste of a speech. I It was pretty much the same shit he said this morning, but at least this time he mentioned the first name of the firefighter that lost his life. I was kind of hoping that would be more of a real unification message. But it's obviously he didn't mean a fucking word of it. You could see the giant teleprompter in the back window. Hold on a second. Okay, I did see that. But see, it's Benny, and I don't really like Benny, but I'll play it.
What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. It is a miracle that I can show you this image, an image of Donald Trump, blood dripping
What's
down
up,
his
Batman?
face, with just a small piece of his ear blown off, with a shot from a cowardly, psychopathic left-wing assassin who tried to murder the president of the United States. Donald Trump is alive and well after being visited and seen in the hospital by medical experts and doctors. Donald Trump departed his plane last night in New Jersey under his own power, was able to walk off his plane, actually doing better on the stairs after
Joe
getting
Biden.
shot than Joe Biden does any given day. Donald Trump had a remarkable instant reaction to getting shot yesterday. Words I never thought I would say, not because I doubt Donald Trump, but just because the entire thing is completely bewildering and happened about 12 hours ago. And yet here we are, President Trump raising his fist, leading a chant yesterday after getting shot, saying that God alone prevented him from the
Wait, did he actually
unthinkable
come out with a speech?
happening.
Because I saw this.
Thank you, everyone, for your thoughts and prayers yesterday, as it was God alone who prevented the unthinkable from happening. Fear not, but instead remain resilient in the faith and defiant in the face of wickedness. Donald Trump remains defiant. Donald Trump had a remarkable message to his supporters in this post, but he had one on camera piece of commentary when he called into a Fox News reporter who presumably Donald Trump was watching and told him what to say on camera, a message to his supporters. This happened moments ago. Lawrence Jones is the reporter on Fox News. He just spoke with President Trump, and President Trump, it's amazing, said this.
Guys, I just finished talking to the former president. You would think that he would be down. I mean, he's in the saddle. He's excited. And I said, is there anything that I could, share with the audience? And he paused for a second and he said, can you just tell him I love him? Just tell him I love him. And I appreciate them. And he said, did you see the people in the audience? Typically when shots are fired, there would be a stampede. But he said, did you hear them stand firm with me, stand firm with the country? And this is a president that wanted to let everyone know, let the world know that he's resilient. I mean,
that's a nice word.
We talk all the time about what leaders do behind closed doors when tragedy happens and when they've not even met with gunfire. Most presidents aren't met with gunfire. We saw how he responds when gunfire is there. And I don't think that should be lost on us. But in a moment where he could be focused on himself, he just wanted me to let everyone know that he loves them. He loves them.
He wants everybody to know that he loves them. This is Donald Trump's first on-camera message to the people of America, especially to the family of Corey Comparatore. Corey was the victim of the horrific attack. After the gunshots, he protected his wife and daughters from the bullets, and he took one for them. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Corey. I believe that this is his daughter.
That's the man right there.
Who he saved her life. And she writes here, Allison is her name. Yesterday, time stopped.
Bro,
when it started again, my family and I started living a real-life nightmare. The media will not tell you that my father died, a real-life superhero. They're not going to tell you how quickly he threw my mom and I to the ground. They're not going to tell you that he shielded my body from the bullet that came at us. He loved his family. He loved us enough to take a real bullet for us. And I want nothing more than to cry on him and tell him thank you. Rip your heart out. We lost a selfless, loving husband, father, brother, uncle, son, and friend. I will never stop thinking about
I don't know if he
and
goes
mourning
into
him
this,
till the day that I die.
but they so far have raised $2 million for that man's family.
July 13th will forever be the day that changed my life. I will never be the same person I was less than 24 hours ago. There are a lot of children out there that say their dad is a hero, but my dad is a real hero. I don't think that I would be here today without him.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
Gutted. This is the official fundraisers raised almost $2 million for the family.
Wait,
this is the official fundraiser, ladies and gentlemen. Alina Habba shared the link. President Trump endorses and authorized this fundraiser. This is again, remarkable moment. How President Trump is reacting is incredible, especially in the face of all of the failures of security around him. His team said that it was only Donald Trump who actually saved President Trump. Donald Trump has said that God saved him. And what I mean by that is Trump turned his head, presumably by divine intervention. At the very last second, President Trump turned his head.
What I've been saying.
And the bullets that should have been lodged in his brain, his neck, or his chest just struck his ear. People posting videos of the flag that hung over the rally and how it looked like an angel.
Bro, it looked
tangled,
like
saying it looks just like an angel. Divine intervention is trending on X, with everybody saying that this was divine intervention. And it really is.
All right.
Nothing short of a completely and totally remarkable day. Now there needs to be intervention in the Secret Service. The Secret Service needs to immediately have mass resignations.
Fire the director.
People need to lose their jobs and careers for this. And maybe some people should be criminally prosecuted. That's what I think. Because good men are dead, and the president and the hope for Western civilization was nearly killed yesterday. All of it a horrible tragedy, none of it a success. And if you don't believe me, well, listen to his Secret Service agent, Dan Bongino. Have a listen.
Oh,
There's
sweet.
only one entity out there that saved Donald Trump's life yesterday, and it pains me to tell you guys this. And you know what that is? It's Donald Trump. If he moves his head an inch to the left or right, guys, this is a really different show today. I mean, it's bad enough we have to do this show about this topic. Can you imagine what would have happened if Donald Trump did not duck? And looking at the stage there, I'm speculating, but I'm pretty sure based on experience that the bunting around the front of the stage is probably armor.
That's what I
Donald
said.
Trump knew to duck. I mean, most
That's what I
people
said.
would. He saved his own life. That's just a fact. The evacuation did not go right. I mean, the rule with the Secret Service is cover the protectee and evacuate. The other rule is maximum to the protectee, minimum to the problem. Why minimum to the problem? Because you don't know that's the only problem. It could be a distraction. There could be another person in the crowd. So if you don't jump on the protectee, you could be looking at multiple shooters. So at least that part, the guys there, stepped up there. But the failure here is absolutely catastrophic. And I got to tell you, the Secret Service should be very careful. I can tell you and absolutely confirm from the horse's mouth, from multiple people, not just one. And I saw Congressman Waltz text this out before on X. There have been repeated requests to increase the security footprint around not just the residences of Donald Trump, but the body itself. And they have been rebuffed. Like I said, I can tell you actual
there it
quotes.
is.
The Secret Service directors completely failed and candidly should resign today. Kim Cheadle has failed Donald Trump and honestly failed Joe Biden, too. He's the president right now. Where's the DHS secretary? I mean, this is you're blaming it on manpower? So just to be clear, we're a $4 trillion United States government, and we can't fork over enough money to keep our people alive? And then you're sending out tweets like, oh, this is the best technology we have. Really? To let a sniper 150 yards away from the potential next president shoot a piece of his ear off? That's your victory lap? Give me a break, man.
I'm going to show some of these later tomorrow, maybe not, but so it's a better time than any. I got two more videos for you. One from talking about Corey, and the other one is a note from Melania's wife that she sent out to her husband's supporters. What the fuck?
So it has been confirmed that the man slain at the Trump rally shooting was Corey Comparatori. He is survived by his wife and his two daughters. Now, what I want to do is I want to read some words from his fellow firefighter via AP News, as well as I want to just pass on the words that were posted by one of his daughters on social media, because I feel like it's very important that we showcase the real hero of this whole event, because apparently when rounds started going off and he got shot, he covered his family to shield them from bullets and shield them from danger. So that has to be highlighted. A lot of people, a lot of news, they're going to highlight the shooter himself, but I feel like we need to highlight the real hero of the day, and that definitely is Corey Comparatori. So let's get into some of the words said by his comrade. AP News reports, man slain in Trump rally shooting remembered as a stand-up guy. Randy Reamer, president of the Buffalo Township Volunteer Fire Company, called Corey Comparatori a stand-up guy and a true brother of the fire service. He said Comparatori served as chief of the company for about 3 years, but also was a life member, meaning he had served for more than 20 years. Just an all-around great guy. Always willing to help someone out, Reamer said of Comparatori, who survived by his wife and two daughters. He definitely stood up for what he believed in, never backed down to anyone. He was a really good guy. Thank you, Randy. Now, I also want to get into some of the words said by his daughter posted on social media, because I feel like those words are important too. We need to really
I'm gonna let him read this. That's why I picked these ones, because I didn't feel like reading.
Highlight the real hero.
And
So
this guy's
let's
a
get into
Marine.
some of those. Let me bring that up. I have it here. So this was actually initially posted by Taylor Hansen at Taylor USA. Thank you. I also saw it on DC Drano's page. But it says, breaking,
No,
the Trump rally
it's the Marine
attendee
rapper.
who was murdered yesterday by Matthew Crooks. It's Thomas Matthew Crooks. It's not Thomas Matthew
Right.
Crooks is the actual shooter. His dad is named Matthew
His dad is Matthew Crooks, and that's the registered Republican. Oops.
Crooks. So please don't get them mixed up. So that the shooter has been identified. The shooter shot Corey Comparatori. A family member has released a statement on their Facebook page and this situation. Prayers up for Corey and his family. So there you see Corey with his 50th birthday cake, and he's sitting there. And then let's go to some more photos here. To the next one.
I did
There you
pull
can
over.
see-
I think I went over that this morning. I think you were there.
A closer look at him. He's wearing a 9-line shirt. So very, very supportive of the first responders as well as the military and everybody else who are pro-American. I can see that. Looks like a real clean-shaven guy. Okay, this is a statement from his daughter, Allison, posted on Facebook about not too long ago, and this is what she wanted to say. Yesterday, time stopped, and when it started again, my family and I started living a real-life nightmare. What was supposed to be an exciting day that we had all looked forward to, especially my dad, turned into one of the most traumatizing experiences someone could imagine. I know the media will cover this event, and I'm going to try my best to stay away from looking at everything, especially because I've already seen and lived through it in real life, in real time. But I want everyone to know what the media will not cover and will not say about him. He was the best a girl could ever ask for. My sister and I never needed for anything. You call, he would answer, and he would do whatever it is you needed. And if he didn't know how, he would figure it out. He could talk and make friends with anyone, which he was doing all day yesterday, and loved every minute of it. He was a man of God, loved Jesus fiercely, and also looked after our church and our members of our family. Allison continues.
You mean RFK? Pull over?
She says, the media will not tell you that he died a real-life superhero. They are not going to tell you how quickly he threw my mom and I to the ground. This is giving me goosebumps, y'all. This is giving me goosebumps, y'all. They are not going to tell you that he shielded my body from the bullet that came at us. He loved his family. He truly loved us enough to take a real bullet for us. And I want nothing more than to cry on him and tell him thank you. I want nothing more than to wake up and for this not to be reality for me and my family. We lost a selfless, loving husband, father, brother, uncle, son, and friend. And I will never stop thinking about him and mourning over him until the day I die too. July 13th will forever be a day that changed my life. I'll never be the same person I was less than 24 hours ago. There will be a lot of children out there that will say their dad is their hero. But my dad really is mine. I don't think I would be here today without him.
That shit's hard to read. That's why I preferred someone else read it. Keep in mind, this is a combat hardened veteran as well. And that shit hits home to us. Big time. This is who the story should be about right now. Not the fucking killer.
Dad, I love you so much that there aren't enough words to express how deep that love goes. I know you'll give heaven some hell. I know that God is proud of the man that came to his gates yesterday. Oh, boy. So that was Allison Comparatori's words to her father, and hopefully somebody watching this video gets to hear those words coming out of me from her about her father that was obviously her hero. Man, this is hard. And here are just some more photos of him with the cake again, him fishing, him with his two daughters when they were born, and then you see them again on the range there. But I just want to highlight Corey Comparatori, the firefighter, his family. Our prayers, our thoughts go to you. We will be praying for you here where I'm at, as well as I encourage everybody else to pray for the family as they go through this difficult, hard time. I know the news is going to focus on a lot of the other situation that's going on, but it's very important to keep Corey Comparatori in your mind, your thoughts, your prayers, your just in your psyche, in your mind, to realize that we didn't need to have this. We didn't need to have this level of violence, especially for a political event. If you disagree, you disagree, but let's focus on the real hero and an individual who is willing to give his life, literally gave his life for his family and shielded his daughter from harm. And that's why we have the great words we have there focusing on that. Yeah, so definitely stay. So the former First Lady Melania Trump, the wife of former President Donald Trump, just released an official letter talking about all the situation that has came out of the Trump rally shooting. And it's an official letter, and for all those people who have not seen it, we're going to check it out. But before we check it out, I need all of you to hit that subscribe button for all the newest news updates and military news. So while I start to read this, just hit that subscribe button. So Melania Trump says, July 14th, 2024, I am thinking of you now, my fellow Americans. I like how she's saying I'm thinking of you, and it's directed to all of America. We have always been a unique union. America, the fabric of our gentle nation, is tattered, but our courage and common sense must ascend and bring us back together as one. As you see, everybody is asking for unity and coming back together and, forgetting about all that division and all the debates and all of the aggression and all of that type of stuff. And she's saying that we need to come together and have unity. When I watched the violent bullet strike my husband, Donald, I realized my life and Barron's life were on the brink of devastating change. I am grateful to the brave Secret Service agents and law enforcement officials who risked their own lives to protect my husband. If you see the video of right after former President Donald Trump gets struck by the bullet on his ear, it is so amazing to see the law enforcement and Secret Service. They huddle around him. They make like a body shield around him and it looks so fearless. Like right away, they hopped on
You
him.
beat me to it, though. I was going to wait till he was done and be like, has Joe come out yet? I mean, we have statement from both Trump, Melania, Biden. I mean, you'd think as a wife, she would put out a good statement, especially towards Melania herself, almost losing her husband.
Dogpiled on him, just like, hey, we're gonna make sure that you're good. What we need to block you from any potential harm or bullets that may come your way. And I just thought it was so awesome to see that in the video. I made a video about that. You can check it on my channel. Melania goes on to say, to the families of the innocent victims who are now suffering from this heinous act, I humbly offer my sincere sympathy. Your need to summon your inner strength for such a terrible reason saddens me. A monster who recognized my husband as an inhuman political machine attempted to wring out Donald's passion, his laughter, ingenuity, love of music, and inspiration. That's cool, like that she's giving like that human side to him. I didn't realize how much of a fan of music he is, but now that I think about it, it seems like he's a big fan of music. Like he always plays all the like top hits and all the party hits like when he walks out every time in every rally. So, and he does his little dance and everything. So I think that is correct to say he's a fan of music for sure. She goes on to say, the core facts of my husband's life, his human side, were buried below the political machine. Donald, the generous and caring man who I've been with through the best of times and the worst of times. That's true. She's been through a lot. Like, just like, he's been through everything. He's been through anything you could possibly be going through. Yeah, jail. He's been through convictions. Now he's been through an assassination attempt. He's been through business moves, good and bad. He's had celebrity, you know. He's been involved in sports. He's been involved in a whole bunch of different things, and she has been with him for a very long time, especially through that span of up and down. So Melania goes on to say, let us not forget that differing opinions, policy, and political games are inferior to love. Our personal, structural, and life commitment until death is at serious risk. Political concepts are simple when compared to us, human beings. And I've said that. I'm like, yo, politics compared to like real life and like what we're really going through, like that's like small. It's like minuscule. Like, yeah, they matter. Don't get it twisted. The issues matter, issues that make up the fabric of America. Trust me, it matters. But, you know, the human side, when you're on your deathbed, you're not going to be like, oh man, I'm so mad that, you know, this political candidate feels this way or this person feels this way. You're not thinking about that. You're thinking about your family and love and human beings. So she's spot on with this. Let's keep going. We're all humans, and fundamentally, instinctively, we want to help one another. American politics are only one vehicle that can uplift our communities. Love, compassion, kindness, and empathy are necessities. I totally agree with that. Like I just said, the politics are just one part of it. You know, there's way more emotions and feelings that can get us going and get us moving and get us motivated. So we need to keep that in sight. Then she goes on to say, and let us remember that when the time comes to look beyond the left and the right, beyond the red and the blue, we all come from families with the passion to fight for a better life together while we are here in this earthly realm. One thing that I noticed,
Did you say
that
realm?
Donald Trump said when he raised his fist up, and that she's saying here, is that ping word fight. I hear fight keep coming out. I hear that. So I get it. And so I feel like that is something that is of huge importance to her family, former President Donald Trump, and everybody else surrounding in their camp. Now let's keep going. She actually goes on to another page to say, she also says, "Dawn is here again. Let us unite now. This morning,
Trying to figure out.
ascend
That's
above
not
the hate,
Yeti.
the vitriol, and the simple-minded ideas
I don't think that's
that
LARP.
ignite violence. We all want a world where respect is paramount, family is first, and love transcends. We can realize the world again. Each of us must demand to get it back. We must insist that respect fills the cornerstone of our relationship again." I like that. I like the fact that she's reinforcing love and the simple
Well, that was definitely way different than I would have not that I would have expected. That sounds more presidential or first lady-ish, or I mean, Donald Trump is the vice president-ish, right? That was that message and the message of Compitore's daughter. Those were unifying, messages. I just felt Biden was so disingenuous, and he didn't write that. And he had to rehearse it quite a few times. That's probably why they started late, to make sure he got it down just right. But yes, dude's a true hero. Only one that most of us can dream to be of. One,